What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the Phantom Pocket from Phantom Lacrosse. It is a all-in-one, easily installed pocket, like a training device used for newer players to teach them how to throw with proper form. I did a review on an early prototype, but it's changed quite a bit since then, so let's check it out. Alright, so there's a lot of questions about this. I know a lot of people are opposed to something like this. They think it's going to take away from stringing and this and that, and I disagree. You know, this is a tool with a very specific target market, and it's newer players who maybe don't have access to proper coaches or older siblings that can teach them how to throw. This pocket apparently is designed to force a newer player to throw with good technique. If you don't use proper technique, apparently it won't work. So that'll be interesting to see. Apparently it's legal for youth and high school in the US and I think all levels in Canada. The prototype I had originally, it was a struggle to get it in certain heads, and I think they addressed that. So that'll be interesting to see. I grabbed a random head and we'll try it. I'm going to do it in a Boomba ATK. It takes about 5 minutes to install, so let's do it. Tricky, but it's not hard by any means. You just kind of have to wiggle it a little bit to get the loop over the knob. Technical terms. Alright. Nope, that's not right. I'm supposed to have this tab behind. Okay, there we go. Popped the tab, these tabs behind. This one is in front. Okay, now put in the bottom string. Alright, there. It's installed. Pretty funky looking. Alright, let's go check it out. Alright, so I took it outside and I tested. There may be footage of that. I used my phone. But, it definitely does what it says it does, and that is force you to throw with good form. My initial concern was whether it would force you to throw one type of pass. Just that one overhand follow-through pass. But my fears were alleviated because I was throwing some lever passes. I didn't try any kind of BTBs or anything, but if you think about it, this is a beginner tool. They're not really going to be throwing behind the back passes and stuff, but a lever pass is something that I always teach pretty early on, but it does throw lever passes fine. The hold and the rattle is an issue. One of the toughest things for a new player to grasp, to understand, and to put into practice is catching with soft hands. And this is a good tool for that. It does force you to catch with soft hands. You can't just brick wall it and leave it here. You've got to give with the ball like you're catching an egg or a water balloon. And so that's another nice feature, because if you don't give with it, it pops right out. But I would say, for me, teaching a kid to throw properly is a lot easier than teaching a kid how to catch properly. So you could absolutely use this as a tool to teach kids both. My worry would be that he would become pretty frustrated in a game situation, because he'd be throwing good passes, but catching with soft hands takes a lot longer to develop. So chances are you're going to be hitting them right in the pocket and bouncing right out. I did a little test where I dropped a ball with, like an angle like that. With this and mesh and this, just dropping it, it would pop right out. With mesh, I could actually throw it and it would stick. So, I mean, there is a difference there. But, if you're looking to teach your kid how to catch with soft hands and throw with proper form, perfect. If you're going to set this up for a new player and say, go forth, play the game, and have him go out and start playing in actual games, he's going to be frustrated because catches that he would make with a mesh stick, he wouldn't make with this. And part of teaching lacrosse is, and I tell kids all the time, you don't get to just step on the field and be a good lacrosse player. Hockey, you don't just get to be a good hockey player. You got to learn some basics first. Lacrosse is the same way. If you have a kid that's willing to listen and willing to learn and willing to really wrap his head around what he might be doing wrong and how to fix it, great tool. But if you've got a kid who's easily frustrated, he might want to put the stick down and play baseball instead if he's not able to catch. So it's a valuable tool. Definitely would teach a kid how to throw and catch, I believe. I think it could be a good tool to have on a stick for a coach, just to bring to practice. And you see a kid who's throwing all wrong, just hand it to him. Don't worry about putting it in his head. Just hand him the coach's stick or the coach's training stick, whatever it is, and let him go to town. See what he can do. Work on the finer points of throwing, the follow through, the positioning, and then with catching, this will really drive it home, because mesh is pretty forgiving when catching with bad form, and I think that's okay for the little guys. This will definitely give them a feel, an understanding for what it means to catch with soft hands, because if you don't, it pops right out. And just like the other pocket in this category, which I know that they probably differentiate themselves, but in the consumer's eyes, it's the same idea. Easily installed one-piece pocket, the Hero Lacrosse pocket, and the Phantom. They share a lot of similarities. I think they're probably positioning themselves a little differently, but they are very similar. They both do the same things, I contend. And they both suffer from the same shortcomings, which, I think ball rattle and hold are an issue in both of them. If you're looking for a quick fix, you need to get a kid out on the field like that. You got a couple minutes to put a pocket in. One of these is fine. But, as a training tool, as a coach's tool, I think, both are very good. And I think both would do what the Phantom is selling itself as. I think the Hero would do that as well. And maybe this does it better than that. I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't tested them very thoroughly. But, this Phantom pocket definitely does what it says, and that is forces a player to throw with good form. And I think it would be a good tool to teach a player how to throw with good form and to catch with soft hands. So, $30, that's what it costs. Definitely, if I were coaching youth, I would have one of these in my coach's bag or set up on a stick that I brought out to help kids learn how to throw, because it definitely does what it says. A lot of people are inherently against these. For whatever reason, they're worried about, stringing going away. But I think now that the way Phantom has positioned itself in the market as a training tool, people are a little less up in arms about it. And I think it's an effective training tool. I think it'll help kids get better. So go check them out at phantomlacrosse.com. And, if you're a coach and you're looking to help your little guys, I think it's a good tool. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.